Good evening, welcome to another episode of Game Wisdom Examines. I'm Josh Beiser, and tonight I am playing Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Number. Now by the time you watch this, my review of the game should already be up, and you can find a lot of my thoughts there. And to spoil it for you, ultimately I found this game somewhat disappointing compared to the first one. I think the level design was better, and that's sort of the reason why I wanted to put together this video quickly, is I want to talk more about that and show it off for you. So before we get going, just a number of points. First, this video will not be showing any story-related elements of Hotline Miami 2. I will be showing off characters and levels, but I will be skipping all the dialogue and cutscenes, so you don't have to worry about that. And, of course, obviously, this game is pretty much very mature, very hardcore, so if you're a parent watching this or whatever, don't let children see this. This is not the game to show them. So, with that said, I think we're going to get going. Again, I love the style of the game. I love, the neon and all that. So here we have all the different acts. I unlocked hard mode. We may show that, but I don't know. So I guess the best way to start would be the very first scene. Yep, I'm going to skip that intro. Sorry guys, you're not going to see that. Love that neon. Alright, so the first thing that's different from Hotline Miami 1 to 2 is there's now a greater cast of characters. So this is the fans. They're a group of 4 people, well technically 5, one's a pair, who love the character from the original and they're sort of taking up the mantle. So these guys you can choose from any of the fans to play their levels in. You have to unlock them in the main game, but I've already been in the game, so I've gotten all that unlocked. So, what I want to do is show off, there we go, I'll show off the very first character, Corey, just because this is what you would do the first level of the game with. So there's Corey. His little trick, or I think it's a she actually, I'll call it just a she. Her little trick is that she can do this little dodge roll that lets her avoid melee attacks. So as before, the rules are simple. Kill enemies as quick and as brutally as possible. The longer you chain kills like that, the more points it's worth. Oop, and don't let them kill you, of course. You can see my little dodge there. Hi boys. Got him. Okay. And the dodge is not bad, I will give it that. But it's just not as useful compared to some of the other perks, and you'll see why in a second. Oop. And you can make sure to actually hit the guy. Alright, so here's one of the first problems with the level design. You can see this area is a lot of straightaways. You can't wander this hallway without this guy spotting you. Watch. There you go. And you're kind of limited in your potential strategies because of it. And as you can see, the AI is still as unpredictable as before. No one heard that shotgun, but they heard that second one. Now again, I don't know what's down there. I don't know how that guy saw me. Okay. And you're still going to be relying on the shift panning on the camera to have any chance of seeing these guys and killing them. Alright, so that level is done. We can get out here. We'll just roll our way to victory. And just like before, you get rated B+. Alright. Oh, and we don't want to show you that, of course. Like I said, no story spoilers here. We'll move on to the next scene, and I'll show off another character. Oh, this is a good one. This is another one of the new characters. He's a sheriff or detective who has some shady things going on. So his little thing is, his levels are pretty much all gunplay. Okay. So look, another big area, not a lot of place for you to hide in. So I'm going to open the door. Is this guy going to see me? There we go. And again, take them out. Now, of course, you just heard no one heard the first one, but they heard the second one. Now, where's that last guy? There he is. Okay. Now, another thing to keep in mind about Hotline Miami 2 is that it really does assume that you've already played the first one, as all the levels have been pretty much designed around that fact. You can see this is another big area, and they've really just gone with a lot more enemies. I mean, the second level of the first game had maybe like 6 enemies in the level. This one has a lot more. Oop. Let's try that again. And you can see they're running at me full tilt. And because of these wide open spaces, it just really limits your options, because there's just so many areas that they can spot you from. Now, the walk-on is still important, so we'll open up this door. Again, I don't know how that guy didn't hear me. And you may be wondering why the camera's being panned this way, and that's because I have to use the shift system, because there's no way to see these enemies otherwise. And you're going to be seeing this even more pronounced in a later scene. So, here's another guy. Let's let him get to the door. Do that. Same thing. Your combo window has also been shortened. There we go. So this guy doesn't have any special talents. Yeah. And let's see what we got. B. Alright. What was the third scene? You can see each scene is like, it looks like a little VHS movie. And a lot of the story comes from the digital combat that was released before the game came out. That's what introduces these characters. So this guy basically wears the snake mask from the original game. Lethal throws. Okay. Yes, here are the windows. This was something that was already in the... This didn't happen until later on in the first game, and it's already on level 3 here. As you can see, they are running at me pretty quick. Okay. And here's another good example. This is just like a long straightaway. Very hard to keep all the enemies on screen. I mean, look how big this room is. And all these tables they can see over, making it very hard to get in there and kill enemies normally. And so you really are forced to rely on guns in this game, unlike the first game where you could get by with just your regular weapons. So look at this window right here. This long straightaway, if there was an enemy here, he would just see me and blast me immediately. And again, their detection range is somewhat iffy. So he's going to pop out. Killed him. And now his buddy will be coming. And this is just like one of the 4 strategies you need in order to stand a chance. You just gotta move around, take them out one at a time. And it just betrays a lot of what made the first game so special. Now, look at that. I have to use zoom here because if I didn't, he would just shoot me if I didn't see him coming. Oh, and there you go again. It's impossible to keep all the information on screen like this, and this is what makes the level design not as good as the first one. In Hotline Miami 1, the levels were a lot more self-contained, specifically each section, so it made it easier to get the lay of the land and keep it on your view at all times. But here, it's just, you know, you're going to easily forget, or enemies are going to get a quick pop at you, like so. So the best thing to do is to just run and, you know, try to pick them off one at a time and just avoid dealing with the combo line because it goes out so quickly. Okay, so again, I'm forced to sort of hem and haul around because I'm afraid of one hit. And if you look how big this level is, this is stage 3. A level this size didn't pop up until like level like 5, like almost like scene like 8 or 9 in the original. And the problem with these longer levels is that it also makes it harder for you to want to experiment. In the first game, a section could take maybe a minute, 2 minutes if you're going to go quickly. And so if you die, it's like, I repeat 2 minutes. Here, because they're so big, you're going to repeat like 5 to 6 minutes, and it just becomes more of a slog compared to the original. So here we go again. Take him out. There's another. And move up here. Take him out. And just this buddy left. Floor clear. And there's a lot more of a use of guns in this one, just because of how many enemies you're fighting, and the buffed up big guys are back. Okay. So we're gonna take him out. And look at this. Another set of very wide open rooms, which the second you stick your head in, the glass will immediately get you spotted. Watch. There we go. 1, 2. Take him out. Take them out. And you can see this long hallway. Let's just stop for a second and look at this. This is the normal view of the game for this level. Now you saw there was a guy all the way at the end of this hallway. There's literally no way you could spot that and not get shot if you didn't just constantly keep your screen panning like so. And even then, there's still a chance he will see you. And this is the problem. You're constantly having to shift your view, constantly trying to keep everything in view in your own mind. And it's just very hard not to let enemies, you know, get out of view and then kill you for it. I mean, look at these windows. And sometimes it's hard to tell what is an interactable object or what will block shots and what won't. Okay, so more guys. Again, look how many guys are on this level. Okay, so we gotta kill him. Alright. And come on. I won't let me grab it. What, is there still? Yeah, of course, there's a guy left alive. Again, that's one of the problems. The levels are so big, it's easy to forget about guys like that. Okay. Got that. Get back to the car. Oop, wrong way. And we'll see what we got that time. C+. And because I'm taking so long, because the levels are so big, it makes it a lot harder to get the higher scores. Okay, let's load up another level. I will be showing some of the later levels, by the way, just in case some of you are worried about that. Okay, so stage 3. Do I want to show this? Yeah, let's do this one quickly. This is the 4th level in the game, and let's get that out. Love the music. There's another Jasper Bring soundtrack. Okay. And again, the music is good. I think I like the first one a little bit better. But let's just look at these levels. Another very wide level. Lots of enemies between these hallways. And again, because of how big these rooms are, it's impossible to keep everything on screen. So you're constantly having to shift your focus and keep shifting the screen like this. And it's impossible just to keep everything going. So we're going to pop our head out. And you're going to see guy here. Shotguns are really great in this game because of their spread. You just do that. And again, I'm sort of left at the mercy of the level design to try and find everyone. And I've had numerous times where I will die because of an enemy who was off screen that I completely forgot about getting that lucky shot in. Aiming is a little iffy as well. Okay, make sure to grab his gun. Now you just saw all the guys that I killed. And remember, this is only level 4. And it's amazing. And it even gets more. Yeah. Okay, more glass. So here's another good example right here. I walk by this window, the guy's going to see me immediately. There is literally no way I'm going to avoid detection. So if I only had melee, it would be impossible. Watch. So all I have to do is do this little walk around the corner, get him to come out. But again, it's such a different feeling compared to the first game, which was so much about this high kinetic action. Okay. This guy just keeps wandering around. I'm constantly having to stop what I'm doing and keep that camera going because I'm just going to lose the guys if I don't. Okay. As I said, getting this game is definitely violent there. Okay. I gotta find the gun. Where's my gun? There we go. So here's another long straightaway. If I just walk through this normally, I would probably get pegged by one of these two officers here. Come on, get that shot. Okay, and here's the big guy. You can only kill him with a gun, but I'm not sure if this was in the first game or changed for the second one, but you can just shoot them once and then they will bleed out. Grab the good old shotgun. I hit the other guy. There's the keys. And we will be stopping that. Again, don't want to go too far into spoilers and all that. Alright. So the game keeps giving you these different characters, and that's kind of interesting. Let me show you, this is an interesting character right here. Let me see. Again, the music's pumping. It's a great soundtrack. So this guy is a reporter. Let's skip that. And so his little thing is that he doesn't want to kill people. So look, he's trying to revive the guy. Yeah. And so if you, the more violent you act towards people, it will basically set them off. Oop. Again, guy off screen, impossible to detect. So he's just like disabling people like this, but you can go further and just keep punching him to death. And if you do that too many times, he basically snaps and then he's going to become the violent psychopath. So watch, he won't use guns. Or I can do that. Now a few more times of that and it will eventually go cuckoo. Another guy. So as you can see, the levels are just about, or more about these very wide areas with very little cover. And again, you can't really tell what's environment and what's actually going to protect you. So let's try this again. We won't kill him. Oh, and got killed again by someone off screen. You can see where the frustration in this game is coming from because of this. Oop. It's just impossible not to get detected like this. So it renders your options pretty much very basic. Go around, kill one at a time, back up. And it's so different from the original game, just this high connect, run around, do as much as you can, as quickly as you can type gameplay. Again, no one saw me. There we go. Nope. So that guy saw me up there somehow. Yeah, we won't kill. Come on. Alright. Now, of course, the game saves or checkpoints after each floor, but look how big these floors are. Okay, don't know how I was supposed to avoid that. Okay. Come and do that. And of course, I can take the guns out. My gun went to an invisible area, unfortunately. Oop. I mean, my baseball bat. And sometimes your swings don't seem to react as quickly as I would like. 1, 2. So again, it just feels, there we go, like while the level design is just not about being creative, it's just about let's put you in a big room and force you to go one at a time and kill these guys. Let's try this again. So let's see, yep, there was a guy down there, no way to see him. Okay. There's that. What the? Okay, again, I had no idea where that guy came from who just killed me. So let's do this again. Oh. And if you're noticing, it just feels a lot more predictable compared to the first game, where you could do a lot of improvisation on these tactics. Here, it just feels like, hey, let's just keep doing the same thing over and over again, one at a time. Okay. Boom. Boom. Alright. Let him do that. The story is pretty interesting, I will give them that. But they do try to explain a lot of the first game, and that sort of rubs it the wrong way, I think. Because it removes a lot of the mystique. So, lots of guys. You can see these hallways have no, visible cover. So you're kind of left to just repeat this over and over and over again. Their detection is still a little weird like this. Not sure why that guy didn't see me. Oh look, and he got glitched into the door. Yeah, this game is also buggier than the first game, although the first game was pretty buggy on release. Got him out. I mean, these areas are symmetrical as well, so there's not even a big difference. It's just repeating yourself over and over and over again. Okay. Aiming is still very finicky. Wait a minute, was that a guy over there? There we go. Another guy just so happens to be wandering around. Doesn't seem too concerned about all his friends reeling in pain. So what I'm going to do is let him see me. Come on. And do that. And now his buddy So who's left? So many guys to kill on this level. Okay. And one more. Or two more. Alright. Don't want to kill him. So I could have gone nuts and just killed everyone, but I figured it's more interesting to do this way. There we go. And the cab was nice enough to wait for me. And I got a D for my efforts. Okay. Now, one of the areas that a lot of people have been complaining about in terms of the difficulty is some of the later missions, when you have very gun-focused ones. So let me see. Where was there a gun one? Was this it? No, that wasn't it. Yep. Only 3 scenes? Yep. So, sometimes it's hard to remember which ones are which. I know this one is one of them. We'll probably do another, maybe 1-2 more scenes and then we'll call it. So this guy, this is a flashback, and he's all about using guns. I'm going to use a flamethrower just because. So his little trick is that he switches between a knife and his gun. Oop. And this area is just freaking huge. Can I shoot through the glass? No. Oh, and they got me from off screen again. So again, your strategies are just more about, let's just go around and do this. You know, try to just rush everything and exploit the AI instead of forming interesting strategies. And they're just going to shoot you from off screen again. I don't know how that guy got me first. Oop. So what happens when he has to run out of ammo is you have to find an ammo box that's placed around the area. So where is it? Where is it? Oop. And again, got killed. So it's more about conserving your ammo. But at the same time, you got a ton of guys you have to deal with. Okay, and then of course you have a big boy right there. And you can only kill him with a gun. And my guy down there won't help. So here's an example of some poor design. The ammo is probably in this trunk. Okay. Where is it? Usually it highlights when you're near. Of course, and I died. And that's like another bit of a design problem. How am I supposed to kill a gun guy when my ammo is limited like that and I can't pick up any other guns? Man, the combo line is so short in this game. And aiming with the guns is not easier either. It doesn't feel like the gun, the aiming, the reticle, is keying to where my crosshair is. again, I'm aiming the gun, it doesn't seem to want to move to where I'm aiming. Oh, we got an achievement at least, so there's a small victory. Let me see. Okay, where is the frickin' ammo? It should be there. What the hell is going on here? Okay. Don't tell me they changed? No. That is odd. I should have ammo. I mean, there's literally no way to get through this level if you don't have ammo. So what the hell's going on? Okay, there's the ammo there, but how else am I supposed to beat that guy if I use the ammo too soon? Okay, so we got more ammo. You can only refill your ammo after it runs out. And again, if you haven't noticed the pattern yet, look how big and wide this area is. It's almost impossible to keep everything in view. Alright, burn him. Burn them. Then we gotta run back here, grab more ammo. And you're still just having to deal with this system. Okay. Get more ammo yet again. Is that all of them? There we go. I'll say this flamethrower is really nice. I did this before the shotgun, it just took a lot longer. What? There we go. Again, another wide area. A lot of almost impossible to see everything. And they've changed if some of these doors just will stop. They won't open, so you're forced to go this way. Okay. And somehow that shot missed him when I was that close. Nope, and dead again. And their shot lines with the glass is just incredible. Alright. Let's try this again. Okay, got him. And again, you're kind of just left at the mercy of the camera. Oh, last second. Oh, that's a pain in the ass. Okay. And you can see how long this hallway is, so there's no cover whatsoever. And if you notice, this is still the same level. It's not like I have gone to like another level where we'll checkpoint. So if you have to stop for whatever reason, you have to restart the whole damn thing. Where is everyone? Almost there. Come on. And another area. So that was 3. And we're still not even done this level yet. It's just insane. Okay, burn him, burn him. And there's just... Again, this is a very gun-heavy level. It's almost impossible to do if you're just going to stick to the melee. Okay. And again, there's a guy literally right there on the edge, impossible to see. Here's a long hallway, I bet there's a guy at the end of it. I was right. And it's just impossible to keep everything in frame. So I'm just going to do this. That glass will see me right through there, of course. And look, there's more glass, so how are you able to see that if you're not just constantly panning your camera? And it just makes things very frustrating and more of a slog than it is interesting to play this game. Okay. Kill more guys. There we go. And it's just such a disappointment because they didn't need to make these bigger levels. They could have just stuck with a lot of smaller, more refined levels that are more interesting to go through. Instead, you got these just very wide areas with very little strategy. Here's another point. Look at this. Walk through there. He's going to see me through that window. So I just have to do this like little stealth thing to get around. Now, where's the last guy? I don't know, because this place is so damn big. There he is. Oh, and there's two. Lovely. So let him come out. Dead. Alright. Is there anything else I want to show? There just really isn't a lot to show in this game. That's part of the problem. You've seen the fan. Oh wait, let me show you one of the fans that I did like. Where was I? Let's get the intro. One of the more interesting characters is this duo. One's melee, one's range. There they are, Alex and Ash. So you're controlling two characters at the same time. I just found it very interesting as a different sense of play. So you're using the left mouse to use your saw and the right one to shoot. Okay. But the aim, though, doesn't seem to be working. That's the weird thing. She kind of gets stuck a lot. Look at this. Why aren't you turning? Like, it's trying to... Look at this. Like, it wants me to control it, but at the same time it's trying to be random, so I don't know. This is yet another bit of the sloppiness with the controls. Why aren't you aiming at anyone? Come on. Well, got them out at least. Okay. Now when you run out of ammo, she can pick up another gun, which is cool. Okay. Again, you can see just how big this area is compared to the first game. And I just don't know why the controls aren't really working that well here. And sometimes these enemies seem to ignore my melee attacks, which is very weird. so let's just go up here. We'll do this level quickly, and I think this will call it for tonight. Okay. Again, the enemy's detection is just so odd. Okay. Him come down. Try to smack him with the door. They're not noticing this. Come on. Door of death, come on. Oh my god, she got stuck behind the frickin' door. Are you kidding me? Okay, let's try this yet again. So there's an achievement if you can take an enemy down while you're doing a chainsaw shoot 'em. But again, you're sort of left to luck. Maybe we can get him. Of course, no one's hearing it. Come on, where are you? Let's try on the next level. So, I mean, this is an interesting mechanic. I do like these characters. I just wish that the other guys were a little bit more interesting. Now look, here's another wide open area. Doors you can't open. So how are you supposed to do this with a melee character like Tony? So look, long hallway, enemies waiting for you. No real way to dodge or go around. And it's just very poor level design. There we go. Well, that was easy-ish. Okay, so she's out of gun, but she can pick up another one, hopefully. So again, long hallway, impossible to see everything. And there's still more guys, and it's not even really interesting design. It's just, let's just give you a really long hallway. And then see about, you know, just take them out one at a time. Yeah. Oh, she's invulnerable. Alright, let's get out here. I'll just leave her alone up there. Oh, there she is. She teleported. Oh yeah, another floor. So this is another early level that's just huge. Okay, there we go. And we're in the van. B-. Alright. I think with that, I think you've seen enough of the game to get a good impression about why I'm just not enjoying it as much. The level design, as you can see, is just very basic. It's less about really exploring the environment, more about let's just put an enemy off camera to kill you unless you already knew about it. And even if you didn't know about it, because they move around, it's just impossible to keep everything focused. Where in the first game, the sections were small enough that you could easily process or keep everything in memory. This is just very hard to do all that. And having to rely on the screen panning is just poor design. If it were me, I would have made the levels a lot smaller. Maybe instead of having 3 big areas, turn into, if they still want to do like bigger and more difficult, turn into 7 smaller areas. That way you only have like 1 or 2 screens, and you get back to that very elegant sense of trying to I guess in essence, make a run through the level. Instead of this, very slow, it just feels very off pace. So I think with that, I'm going to wrap things up. Thanks for watching this. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. That'll help me out a lot. Make sure to check out game-wisdom.com for posts and podcasts relating to game design in the industry, as well as our Patreon campaign to secure monthly funding to hopefully do a lot more of these and a lot more content. Thanks again, and I will see you next time. And there we go. See you later, folks.